Hi everyone, this is Jane here from Crystal Sparkles Readings. I'm just here to put down a card for today and for the weekend for us. So I'm going to be using the black and white tarot card, Faulkner Tarot, and let's just have a little look and see what we've got with the Faulkner Tarot today. If once again I can not throw them all over the floor. Okay, let's start again and have a good shuffle and see what we've got for today and for the weekend. Okay, so the first card that I have is the Hierophant, and the Hierophant is one of the big cards in the tarot because it's one of the major arcana. So it talks about important stuff, really. It's Hierophant talks about inner guidance, it talks about spirituality, it talks about structure, it talks about organisations, anything kind of like that, churches, schools, universities, all that kind of thing. So it may be that you find that you're having dealings with those sort of things. Authority figures can come into that as well. Hierophant is in the Rider Waite, sometimes called the Pope. It's one of those kind of sort of religious-y cards, things that have that kind of air of authority about them. Doesn't have to be religion, that might not be your bag at all. Certainly isn't mine, but there is that energy about it. So it's got quite an interesting side to it, the Hierophant. It means many things. So when I get it in a card for today, I tend to sort of feel like it is to do with you being able to be sure of your inner guidance, your inner wisdom, following your own inner path, knowing what is right, having integrity. Again, it's the number 5 card, and the 5s all talk about karma. What you put in is what you get out, and all of that kind of energy. So the Hierophant does talk about that. So it asks you to bear that in mind for the next few days. What's the right thing to do? And also, you know, it might be that you're in a place where some authority figure or some institution of some kind is wanting you to behave in a certain way that you don't feel is right. And what it is saying is you must pay attention to your own inner guidance. Really important. Okay, so that's the Hierophant. That's the first card we have. And I'm going to put down a few today. So I'll be putting down another Faulkner Tarot for the weekend. And that is the 9 of Cups. Okay, so we've got the Hierophant for kind of the rest of today into the beginning of tomorrow, and then the 9 of Cups for late on Saturday into Sunday, so the latter part of the weekend. So the 9 of Cups is one of those really fab cards because it's all about wishes coming true, dreams coming true, that sort of thing. It's a really lovely, gentle card. It talks about happiness, talks about making a wish. It's you know, the cards tell a story, and I almost feel like what they're saying is, in this, if you follow your own inner guidance, do what you know is right, and that will lead you to happiness. Sunday looks like a really peaceful, happy, joyful day, because the 9 of Cups is all about that. It's all about happiness and joy. And what you wish for, really. What have you wished for? And with this, you know, what have you asked for? What have you wished for? Because this is what comes true as long as you follow the path of integrity and your own inner wisdom. Don't get led off astray by anyone or anything that does not feel right to you. If it doesn't feel right to you, don't do it. You know? No, it sounds really blatantly obvious and blatantly simple, but it actually is really blatantly obvious and blatantly simple. You know, even if you're pressured, you know, you have to follow your heart. You really do. There's a lot of stuff happening in the world today where you just have to hope that at some point someone does the right thing, because there's a lot of weird things happening. Okay, so I'm also just going to put down one of these lovely Wicker Moon tarot cards just for the weekend as a whole. Been using these a little bit this week because we're coming up to Halloween, so this is the deck I've been using this week. I'll probably swap around next week. I've got a couple of gothic ones that I want to use because I like the whole Halloween thing. It's really, really good fun, and an important time, you know, for Wiccans, pagans, all of that kind of those different faiths. Halloween's an important time, but I don't particularly follow any faith, but I kind of really like the Halloween feeling. There's something about it. I've always enjoyed it. I know it's all got very American now, and we're all kind of going mad about it and trick-or-treating and all the rest of it, and that's great. It's really good fun. But I've always kind of really felt that night is a significant night, so I like it, I enjoy it, and it gives me a real opportunity to use a few of my shadow decks, you know, to look at the other side of things, and maybe look at the slightly darker side of things. And by dark, I don't mean bad. There's light and dark in all of us, and sometimes we need to embrace that shadow side of things. So I'm going to work with a couple of shadow decks next week, probably. And see how we get on with them, see what people think, see if they enjoy them. But this is the beautiful, beautiful Temperance card in the Wicker Moon deck. So there we go. Let's put that right in the middle. This is a lovely, these really are lovely decks. I mean, look, the back of them is fab, and they're lovely, they're vibrant. I really kind of like the fact that they're borderless. I just really enjoy that. So Temperance, bear in mind I'm an Aries, so Temperance is a bit of a swear word to me, because it sort of talks about patience, taking things slowly, and it's just a slow energy, really. As a fire sign, I really want to rush. I just want to barge on ahead, and anything that comes with patience attached to it is quite a difficult energy for me. And if you're a fire sign, you're likely to find it the same. But there are valuable lessons to be learned by just chilling out, and just kind of going with the flow a little bit. Sometimes we can kick and scream and push as hard as we like. Nothing moves any quicker, and you just waste a whole load of energy. So this card is saying that we are having a peaceful weekend. It's very quiet, it's peaceful, it's kind, it's slow, it's gentle. You can see that I don't really need to say very much about the imagery of that card. It's fab. You know, you've got the water, you've got your lovely angel, you've got the rainbow. You know, bees are really very significant in terms of imagery, as being very they're known as being very lucky, and they are obviously they make things happen, but they don't rush. Okay, your bees don't go out and make a pot of honey in 5 seconds, do they? They go get their pollen, put it in their hive, and all the rest of it. It takes them ages, but they don't care, because they just keep buzzing away till it's done. So it's kind of about being patient and getting what you want in the end. So it's a really lovely, peaceful energy this weekend. Just kind of follow your integrity, your own inner guidance. Don't anybody lead you astray. Don't anybody get in your way. If you feel like something's right, do it. You know, do it. You don't have to. You're your own boss, and you are in charge of you. I think we lose sight of that sometimes, that actually we are in charge of our own lives and what we choose to do with them. Obviously, there's stuff that happens around us we have to pay attention to, but you know, on the whole, you are the master of your own destiny, and you're certainly the most master of your own integrity, and you doing the right thing. So I will leave that with you for now. I'm going to probably upload, if I can, this weekend, a couple of new decks that I've got that I want to open up and do an unboxing. Hopefully I'll get a chance to do that. If not, I will see you on Monday. Have a lovely weekend. Bye for now.